Do you have sciatica going down one or both of your legs? And despite how much stretching and exercising you're doing, it's not getting much better. In fact, even getting worse. If so, today's video is perfect for you. I'll be covering the 3 types of sciatica, the recovery time of the most popular, along with the biggest mistakes sciatica sufferers like you make on a daily basis, keeping them stuck in pain. There are 3 different types of sciatica. There's 2 that are really extreme, more less common. Then there is one that is very common. It's the one that most people, probably you, are dealing with right now. If you have been told by a doctor or a surgeon or someone that you trust in the medical field that you have 2 of the more extreme ones, and you probably haven't been given enough information to kind of arm yourself with the best advice. Neuropraxia, and that's the scientific name for basically the tingling, the numbness, the crawling sensations, the water running down your legs, the ache in your glutes, the ache that goes down to your hamstrings, into your calves, into your feet. And it can vary by different types of disc injury, but this type of sciatica that we're more commonly kind of associated with is typically caused by compression. When we have a herniated disc or a bulging disc, such as what you see right here, we have a vertebrae, and then you have a disc in the middle, and you have a herniation or a bulge or some kind of activity that's pushing on that sciatic nerve that is connected and innervates different parts of the body below that site. That's the most common one. The other 2, one is done through some kind of a blunt trauma. Really, it's kind of some sort of damage to the actual nerve, not a complete rupture, but it's just damage to it. The third severe version of sciatica or damage to your nerve would be a complete rupture. Again, this is a very extreme situation. I'm not speaking to those people on this video here today. Before I go any further, make sure you are speaking to your doctor about your current situation. If you have sciatica and it is severe, go see a doctor. This here, what you're learning today, is for educational purposes only. That will give you some insight into what you should do instead. Now we're talking about a compressed nerve situation. Again, the majority of people watching this video, just like you, have some kind of herniation, bulge, or some kind of problem with a compressed nerve, which is sending these yucky signals down your low back. Maybe it's stuck in your glutes, maybe it's stuck in your hamstrings. Regardless, odds are it's from a compressed nerve situation. Typically, the recovery time, what the kind of consensus says, is around 3 months. You're probably like, I'm way past 3 months. I'm 6 months. I'm 6 years. Everyone's recovery is a little bit different. Everyone's been dealing with sciatica differently. If what you're doing is actually working, or what you're doing you should be doing for your specific situation, you can expect 2 to 3 months of recovery time for that sciatica symptom to begin to start going away for good. Let's talk about some very common mistakes that I see now that I've had thousands of conversations with people just like you who are trying to get out of sciatica. The biggest mistakes that I see you making. Really quick before we talk about these mistakes, I put together a free daily routine. I put together the exercises, the reps, the sets. I give you everything. It's very simple. It's not 30 pages of things you gotta sift through to get to the good stuff. It's simple. You just download it, take action on it, and implement it into your day going forward. You can go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine to download that free daily routine that is perfect for low back pain, tightness, and sciatica that you are experiencing. Again, fitnessforbackpain.com/routine. Now let's jump back into these mistakes. The first one is stretching too much. Oftentimes you have these sensations in your hamstrings, right? Your hamstrings feel tight. So you're like, if I can just stretch my hamstrings more, maybe I'll do some like touch your toes type of thing. And maybe I feel a little bit of tightness, or these muscles back here are ugly tight, and my glutes are really tight. So I'm just gonna stretch these areas out and pull on these areas because it feels good while you're doing it, but guess what? The sensation always comes back. Usually stretching really is just making your sciatica nerve more upset. You have a compressed, upset, nasty little nerve that you are trying to stretch and pull on, which is not going to get you the result that you're looking to get. In fact, most people who are dealing with sciatica, who have been applying stretching, like hamstring stretches, in hopes of getting rid of that nasty hamstring sciatica feeling, or going down your calves into your feet, people who stop upsetting the nerve showed more signs of recovery than those who actually spent all of their time with their sciatica stretching it. Now, unfortunately, this is a common practice therapists that you see, people who are taking yoga classes for back pain. There are gentle stretches, and we want to release these muscles, and that tightness you feel in your glutes and hamstring is your body just protecting yourself. It wants to let go, and if you do it right, the sciatica will disappear. No, if you're stretching your hamstring, stretching your sciatica away, even doing nerve flossing for a lot of people is not the best thing for you. If you're doing these things and your pain is still sticking around, I would eliminate that right now. The second mistake I see often is too much exercise or attention on that sciatic nerve. We have a low back issue. A lot of times we are trying to treat the symptoms going down our leg, whether it be stretching our quads or hamstrings or glutes or piriformis, whatever it might be. And we are either doing that or we're going to the gym. We were told exercise, movement is medicine, motion is lotion. So let's go squat and let's go lunge. And I won't squat with a barbell on my back. I'll just do a bunch of reverse lunges, glute contractions, hip thrusts, and hopefully my glutes will get stronger, my low back will get stronger, and my sciatica will go away. But if your sciatica isn't going away and you're still going into the gym, and maybe you feel better at the gym, but your sciatica is still there, you're doing too much. So a big mistake I see is people trying to exercise sciatica away, doing the wrong things, or giving too much attention to the symptoms, or treating the symptoms with exercise, whatever modality that you want to do, whether it's foam rolling or acupuncture or chiropractic adjustments, and constantly giving it so much attention is just making it more and more mad, or just buying you time for a couple of hours until the sciatica comes back with a vengeance. The third biggest mistake is not being consistent enough with the right strategy for their unique pain profile. Now there's like 3 layers to what I just said. Not being consistent. It takes time to heal. We're talking 2 to 3 months if done correctly. Then you got to find what is your pain profile. What specific things should you be doing for your unique sciatica symptoms, or low back pain symptoms, or glute tightness symptoms, whatever you're experiencing. Sciatica is experienced in different ways. What are you applying? Are you applying an Instagram video that showed some person doing massive amounts of cobra poses, thinking that that's the way you get a herniated disc to go away, is just by extending it away? That's not always the case. So there's different types of extension. You got to understand the pain profile that you are, and then apply the exercise that is appropriate for you. And the last part of this is typically when someone starts to see a little bit of relief, they start seeing some change, they tend to jump back into what they used to do. They don't give it enough time. They are not consistent with the right strategy for a long enough period of time. And what happens is they start feeling better. Maybe their pain goes away in the second week of their pain going away or reducing by 85%, which is life-changing for some people. They jump back into the things that they want to get back to. And unfortunately, it's just not a good strategy for someone who's trying to learn how to overcome sciatica, overcome chronic low back pain. And unfortunately, this is not a good strategy for people who are trying to truly get out long-term lasting relief out of sciatica or chronic low back pain. What you've got to do is trust the process, buckle in, find what works for your unique pain profile, get help if you get to a point where you feel stuck or your results plateau or you feel like you hit a ceiling and you're no longer progressing. Get help. Don't just keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over, thinking that what got you to that point is what's going to get you to the next point, because that's not the case. Oftentimes, what you start with that actually takes you from where you're at now to point A is not going to be the same thing that takes you from A to B. There will always be different modifications, changes, and maneuvers you have to understand to overcome obstacles and sticking points at every point of your recovery. Now, I don't want to just tell you that you're doing a bunch of things wrong. I want to give you something that you can actually take action on. And I put together a free sciatica and chronic low back pain and tightness routine that you can do on a daily basis. I give you the exercises, the reps, and the sets for you. You don't have to think, you just got to do. Take action on what I give you. It's completely free. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine. It's a simple daily routine that you can do every single day that targets the lumbar spine, any kind of disc issue, herniation, bulge, even rupture like I did, that will really teach you how to structure a good movement, strength, and mobility routine for your low back to promote lasting relief. Go to fitnessforbackpain.com/routine. I hope this video gives you a little more insight into the common types of sciatica, probably the type that you have here, and also something that you can focus on eliminating from your current strategy and then taking action on a routine that will get you help. Thanks for watching. God bless, and I will see you on the next episode.